stop smoking or stop drinking with your friends and see if you guys still enjoy your presence.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a really good example. Like, if you want to know, you know what I mean? Like, if you're surrounded with, like, smoker friends or drinker friends, just, like, or, like, for example, group situations, try to hang out individually with those groups and without a third person. Just you and them.
Just one-on-one.
That's another great way to see if, like, how, like, where that, like, friendship stands. Right. And so that is such a huge thing. Like, you're taking these externals influences and just making it about you.
Yeah. No, you're making it a one-to-one connection. No, you're spitting fucking biggie facts, Brody. All right. We trapping B.
Yeah, we're trapping B. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, bitches. We live coming at you from the 0161. Yo, I'm trying to...
What is up, guys? My name is Armando, and my buddy here with Jordan, and we do not exist in this podcast because...
It just answers itself.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm trying to sell my boosted board. It cost me 1.7K, and we don't have to talk about that. It cost me 1.7K. I put it on Let Go for 1.3K, which is it's a steep price, but it's a good price because it's 200 below market. And Boosted is out of business, so it's the only place. So this fucking person said, "Is the price negotiable?" And I said, "Slightly. How much are you willing to pay?" And he said, $700. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Go piss on yourself. $700 for my fucking stealth.
You should have just been like, "I'll give it to you for like 1,000."
Me? It's still 300 less. I'd probably go. Thing is I'm gonna have to nudge it down anyways if no one bites. So I'm thinking of probably, dude. The thing is I also still value it. Like, I also still like it. And so I'm thinking, like, maybe I'll just set like a limit and I won't go anywhere below like 1.1K or something. I don't want to lose that much money off it though. And it's good. It's good. It's in solid condition. I mean, yeah, I ran it pretty hard. Anyways,
So if you guys want a boosted board,
yeah, hit me up. Except for don't, unless you live in like Northern California, like Solano County, Northern California.
Yeah.
Because I'm not shipping that thing. It's heavy as fuck, dude. It's like at least 40 pounds. It's heavy as fuck, and that's gonna cost a fuck ton. Unless you want to pay for shipping. If you guys want to pay for shipping as well as the normal price of course, yeah, fuck it, yeah, sure. You guys can have it, 100%. All right, so the question today. We jumping in?
Yeah, we're going.
Okay.
In. Yeah.
Question is what is a true friend, or what is true friendship? We talked about it. We talked about the fact that we're going to talk about it last episode. Yeah, and I don't fucking know. He doesn't fucking know. None of us fucking know. But I guess we'll talk about it. We'll find out, right? Hopefully, right? The goal is to find out, but maybe we won't find out. I don't know. I mean, it's like a very subjective question. I mean, I thought about my closest friends, you, as well as other close friends, and it just really made me question, like, is that true friendship, or is that more like, because some of my closest friends, they feel less like friends and more like family. But this doesn't say like what is true family or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like this is another one that just, you can't answer it for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think I can define this for everybody. I could just, if anything, define it for myself, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I have to agree with that. For sure, big time.
So if that's what we're settling on, then I guess the question is, what does true friendship mean for us? For me, and then for you.
Okay.
You want to go?
Yeah. So I think before we talk about what true friendship means to us, I think we can explain why it's subjective.
Okay.
You know, because I was really thinking.
Well, do you think there's a need?
Kind of, because I didn't really understand it at first. I was like, I really didn't know, and I was just like, and I was thinking about it, and you know, and it really just kind of showed. It really just,
yeah, pop filters are so fucking annoying sometimes because they're screwed on awkwardly, so they're tense if they're turned one way, and then they're really slacky if they're
I think
turned
this
the other
is
way.
better. Yeah, no, so like we can first start off how like we have different types of friends essentially.
Yeah,
For like different sides of us.
for sure. Yeah, that's very true.
You know,
very true.
Like
Very true.
and I think, you know, like it's, I think the quality and I guess what you could call like which friend is more true is like which friend can you be more like yourself with.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a question in of itself, right? Like, which version of me is the most me?
Yeah.
And I think the way to answer that is to which version of you can you be the longest?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And what's indicative of that is like which friend can you be around for the longest?
Yeah, for sure.
And so, and ultimately, fuck, bro, we're doing it, bro. We're doing it. Let's go, dude. I'm hyped because we're actually fucking doing it. Yeah. So that kind of answers my question in a way. Because, well, not really. The people who I consider the best friends are the people who I can be around the longest.
Yeah.
Like I remember that was that one day. And for some reason, I remember it as like, I almost remember it as like the first day we hung out in forever. And it wasn't that, but it was the first time me and you hung out. And you might know what day I'm talking about, but it's the day that we hiked. Remember that fucking day?
Yeah, dude.
We hiked,
yeah.
and like, I think we like started off the day like at church or something.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and then after church, we like drank coffee and we're like, you know what, fuck it, let's do something, bro. We still got time, and then we fucking hiked. Yeah, man. And it was so fun, man. Just spending time with you, talking to you, like that shit was just, dude. I could just keep doing it.
Yeah,
and I didn't get tired of it. It didn't get draining. If anything, it filled me up.
Yeah, no, that was an awesome day.
It was a really fucking awesome day.
And it was just like a normal Sunday, but like it just felt way better that day.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, it was yeah. No, it was great, dude. It was a really good fucking day.
Yeah, I mean, I think this kind of just shows like, this kind of just also shows why it's also really subjective, you know, where like not a lot of people have a friend like that, you know, where like they could just like hang out all day and go in this like upward spiral.
Yeah, not a lot of people have a friend like that, but then that just means that they don't have any true friends.
I guess so. Yeah. Right.
And so now we're getting to the point, at least I feel like we're getting to the point in which we're realizing that maybe this isn't subjective actually, because you stated something that I believe to be a fact, which is that there's different friends for different versions of you.
Yeah.
For different like facets of your lifestyle. There's different people who accommodate that. And I remember like growing up, I always saw this as, at first it was just something that naturally happened, right? I had like my church friends, I had like my neighborhood friends, I had my school friends. Then my parents were divorced, so I had friends at one house and friends at the other house. And they were different too. Yeah. And so it was all these different kind of friend groups. And I remember, dude, birthdays were the fucking worst, man, because I'd get so anxious.
Oh my god!
When the friend group would have to mix,
yeah, man.
It'd be like people from there, and I'm like, dude, what am I gonna fucking do? I'm just a different me with all these people.
Yeah,
like, This group I cuss with. This group I don't. This group I'm like the smart person of this group, and I'm like the fucking rat ass kid who does dumb shit in this group. It's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? That shit would give me so much anxiety, because it's like, no matter what, I'm not gonna be me.
Yeah.
And it really just fucking begged the question, like, is this okay? Is this all right? And for the longest fucking time, it made me feel bad, because I was like, man, who am I? Am I like, who the fuck am I? Am I just this fucking chameleon who switches fucking forms, like, depending on the environment that I'm in? But that's not, I don't know how normal it is, because I'm not sure how many people actually just are the same person with everybody in their life.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are people like that, but I'm not sure how many people are like that. And I think like fucking hair in my mouth. I think one of the best ways to like even think about that is like you're not the same person. Who's the same person with their parents that they are with their friends? Very few people. Very few people. Exactly. Very few fucking people. But there are people. There are people. I know for a fact there are people who literally they're just as chill with their fucking parents as they are with their friends. Yeah. Those are usually the people who fucking smoke weed with their parents. Yeah. And like drink with their parents and do shit like that. But yeah, so it's really fucking interesting. Anyways.
Yeah, no. I like how you said that example of
yeah.
You know, can you chill with your parents just like how you chill with your friends?
Yeah, because for me, what it did, it kind of created a sort of normalcy around it. Yeah. It felt weird because it's like, is it normal to be a different person with different people? Like it's kind of almost like, am I fake for that? But then it's like, well, it is. I think it is normal to be different with your friends than it is your parents. And if that's normal, then it's just different people are different people. You're different. Or you're a different person around different people, and it's because you want to accommodate different groups differently. Like, I feel like the only way that you can fully meet people at where they are often is to change.
Yes.
Right? You
yes.
know?
And you know,
and
yeah. No, and I want to actually go into that because like it takes something like I don't know, like a toxic relationship, right? And it takes two to be in a toxic relationship because you're enabling that behavior in that relationship. And so like let's say someone verbally like abuses you in a relationship, right?
Okay.
And if you just like, oh, okay, I'll let it slide for this time, right? You just enabled that door to do it again and again. Now it's up to you. It's very tricky, right? It's up to you to be like, okay, look, hey, you can tell them, I don't like how you're doing this, blah 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 blah. And then some people don't tell them. Some people don't tell that person, right? And this isn't what I'm using. This is like that kind of that principle applies very similarly to friendships as well, where it's like you kind of put on this face of just, oh yeah, like I'll accept, like this goes to like fake friends, right? Where it's like, let's say I hang out with a whole bunch of people who smoke, right? But I don't smoke. And then I start smoking and this and that. And have you ever noticed when people try like quit smoking in their life, they start losing friends?
Oh, for sure.
Because all the other friends, they're just friends because they smoke.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that's actually that's. I'm really happy that you brought that up. Fuck yeah, I'm really happy that you brought that up because that's very true and it's very interesting and it really does tie closely into this entire discussion. Like, I mean, fuck. When I stopped playing League, I lost some friends, you know?
Right.
And the interesting thing, the reason why this is like hitting me differently now, because that's been brought up so many fucking times. So many people have been like, yeah, man, I used to do Xanax all the time or like fucking meth or whatever the fuck. And I had like my crackhead friends and then like, and we would all do drugs together. And then I stopped doing drugs. I got clean. And then often people stumble because they're friends.
Yeah.
Right. But they finally get clean and they realize, oh shit, I have to cut these people out of my life in order to actually be clean.
Exactly.
And so, and a lot of people, I feel like it usually has this negative connotation, like, oh, these people only hang out with me because I smoke. And it sounds so fucking negative because it's like, you guys aren't really friends. You guys are just friends because of the activity that you do. And like, in a way, it's like, kind of, but it's like, I don't know, man.
Here's the thing. I think another good way to like measure true friendship, it's stop smoking or stop drinking with your friends and see if you guys still enjoy your presence.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like that's a really good example. Like if you want to know, you know what I mean? Like if you're surrounded with like smoker friends or drinker friends, just like, or like, for example, group situations, try to hang out individually with those groups and without a third person, just you and them.
Just one-on-one.
That's another great way to see if like how, like where that like friendship stands, right? And so that is such a huge thing. Like you're taking these external influences and just making it about you.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're making it a one-to-one connection. No, you're spitting fucking biggie facts, Brody. Yeah. No, that's something that I've always, I don't want to say subconsciously noticed, because I have noticed it and I've like attentively noticed it, but I never really like, I don't know. Yeah, it's so crazy because like thinking about it now, it's like that's so fucking true, and it ties so well into this conversation of like, what is a true friend? Like, I mean, you're a perfect example. When we hang out in groups, yeah, we fuck around. It's a good time, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to say names. When I go off alone with certain people in certain friend groups that we've shared, those people, it's like conversation gets stale.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is boring as fuck. This person's not actually fun to talk to.
And they could feel the same way about you.
Yeah,
or,
for sure.
Or vice versa, right?
Yeah,
like this person just
like
is only willing to talk about philosophical shit.
Exactly,
like this person's not willing to vibe. Like this, and it's like, and this is where it gets subjective. This is where it gets
no.
Like,
I disagree. I think we're going further and further away from subjective territory. I think we're finding some concrete details of what makes a true friend. A true friend is someone who you can be alone with, and in multiple scenarios. And I think the best scenario of being alone, I've always thought about this, and I don't know if this actually has any merit to it, and I might have even gotten this from like some quote or some fucking person saying this, but I've always thought about like, before you marry a woman or a man, what you should do is you should like just try locking yourself in a fucking white room with them for like an entire day, right? Just fucking try it, man. Just try it.
The fucking box method, bro.
Exactly.
Just like you want to marry this person, okay? Spend days in a box.
I know. I want to say like a
10
week.
days.
Exactly. Like a week, 10 days, something good like that. Obviously, it's like, well, I mean, marriage, fucking marriage, man. Dude, like that's supposed to be forever. So yes, it should be like at least a week.
No phones, no letters, no outside forces. Just you and
fucking
this person,
you two.
Eat, sleep,
and
that's it. Just you. And like, dude, I honestly want that to be a thing, because it's just,
dude. Wouldn't it be, dude? Oh my god, okay. How fucking cool would it be if that was how you had to earn your marriage? Like,
oh my god,
like
awesome.
In order to become legally wedded, you had to spend 10 days in a, like, not a white room, because you can go insane, you know, possibly and go insane, but like in a fucking, you know, in like an apartment, right? You guys have food, you can order food, whatever.
Yeah. You
can't watch TV though. No phone, no nothing. What you guys are gonna do is you're gonna talk. Or you can not talk, because you don't have to talk, right? You don't have to talk the entire time when you're married, but you guys have to coexist.
Yes.
You got one fucking room, right? It's a studio.
Yep.
So you have your kitchen, all your shit, your couch, but it's one room. You can't fucking get away from each other.
No, you can't.
I think that would be fucking amazing. And I think, one, the divorce rate would go down, because people would like not get married.
Wait, sorry, my mic is falling apart.
That shit fucking happens.
Sorry. We're back.
Oh, it's Angels. Is it? I think it's Angels.
It is Angels. Yeah.
No, I got angels. I got angels. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how the song goes. I missed that song. I missed Chance.
We should bump it after this.
Yeah, we totally should bump that shit. We're back, guys. My shit was falling apart. Anyways,
wait, did we? So are you gonna cut that out?
Yeah, because it was so loud and
okay. Because I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna put them through the like fucking ear torture for that shit. Okay, so you were saying about, I totally lost our train of thought. We were saying about like family and friends and shit like that.
We were talking about true friends. We were talking about, well, what we actually left off with was marriage and how you should like being alone with someone.
Yeah, in a box. Fuck yeah, dude.
And so basically, like, yeah, it's so the idea of like your true friends are people who you could be alone with. Your true friends are people who you could probably who you can spend a lot of time with. I mean, I feel like that's part of me wonders now. Before I felt like it was subjective, but I feel like saying that it's subjective was almost a cop out for me not to do the work, because now that we've like kind of put some thought into this, I feel like it's not subjective. I feel like this applies to everyone. Your true friends are people who you can be alone with. Your true people, and obviously alone is one-on-one. Your true friends are people who you can spend an extended period of time with, probably the longest period of time, because some people can spend time with people forever, and some people can only spend like an hour with people before they go fucking insane. But it's not about how long you can spend with them. It's about how much time can you spend with them relative to other people, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and so like, and your true friends, and yeah, and so like, cause the question is like, or not the question, but I feel like we were getting to a place in which we wanted to say your true friends are people who you can be the most real with, or you can be the most you with.
Yeah.
But the people who you can be the most you with are going to be the people who you can spend the most time with, because there are multiple versions of you.
Yeah.
So the people who you can be most you of, you know, you have to decide which one's the most you. And the way you decide that is which one do you spend the most time as, right?
Oh, shit.
You know.
Okay, for sure.
I mean, it just makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you mean by that. And I think also like it's like when you spend a lot of time with that person that you can be most with you, you learn things about that person, but you also learn about yourself.
For sure.
And it's like you almost get like a closer insight of who you are, meaning that you can almost find like another friend that you can get closer with because you know yourself even better.
I think I agree with that. I'm not sure if I have any examples of that, but are you talking about like you can like if you meet someone, you'll be able to decide faster if you can be a good friend with them?
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I think that's a good way of seeing it. You know, like can you spend in like a box with this person for like 3 or 5 days straight?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be marriage or like.
But that's the thing. I feel like when you put that kind of time on it, some people can just be around people forever, just because they're agreeable, right? You take someone who's combative and they're irritable, or they're just the kind of person that like they're gonna be feisty and they're gonna like argue about shit that doesn't need to be argued about. Maybe they can't spend that many days with anybody. Right. So I think it's all about who can you spend the longest with. Right. Because 3 or 5 days, I mean, there are some people like, and like you even talked about how like there's some people who don't even have friends that they can be like this with or whatever. You know what I mean? And you know, it begs the question, okay, well then do they have true friends? Because it's also possible to just not have any true friends. But I think it's also possible to not have any friends that you can spend that long with. And then it also, of course, it begs the question of like, you know, we were talking about earlier, like I struggle to have very long-term relationships with people who are also dominant, right? Because like I'm a dominant person, so like we usually butt heads. But like people who are less dominant, I can get along with for like years and years and years and years and years, and it's because there's just like not that conflict,
right?
And so that's another question, right? Like, so yeah,
that's very interesting. Yeah, huh? So it's not.
So it's not how long. It's not. Can you spend this long with this person? It's. Can you spend the longest amount of time with this person? It's all relative to how much time they can spend with people in general.
Yeah.
Because people can spend more time with different people can spend more time around people. Like extroverts and introverts, right? If you're an extrovert, you can spend a lot of time with people.
Yeah.
Right.
That is true. Yeah.
But if you're an introvert, no, you get drained.
Yeah.
And so it's like me spending an entire day with you, it meant something, bro. Like it wasn't even a full day. It was like what? Like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So that's like, you know, I still had like at least to like 8 p.m. at least before it was even like, I mean, if we bring it to like 9 p.m., that's 12 hours, right? So like, I feel like that would be a full day. So it wasn't even a full day, but still that was indicative. That was really indicative of something, because I'm not the kind of person who like can easily spend an entire fucking day with someone. You know what I mean? Wow. Like that's not easy to do. And so it meant a lot that I could pretty much do that with you. But some people, that's easy. They can they can spend a week with someone,
like
right?
me. Yeah, no, yeah. I could spend an entire day with, I'd say, a good amount of people.
Exactly. And so yeah. And obviously that's not to say that it meant less to you, because obviously it was maybe like a better interaction than it would have been with other people.
Oh yeah, no, because that interaction itself felt like 20 interactions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's like another big thing where it's like,
for sure. But that part I feel like is subjective.
Yeah.
Because another thing is like we're both like hyperactive and we both fucking move around and shit like that, which is part of the reason why the show works.
Right.
Because like We started off with one question and we've gone into like 1,000 different places, but that's the reason why it works, right? And so because we're like hyperactive people and our brains move like, then we can go into multiple different things. But some people are really focused on one thing, and then so they need someone who's going to focus on one thing, or else they get fatigued.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, we're just wired this way.
Yeah, no, and it works. It just works for us, man. And like, I'm so fucking like, man, we were talking about this earlier. Like, I'm so fucking blessed to like have you as a friend.
Likewise,
because like,
bro.
it's this shit isn't guaranteed.
Yeah,
you're not guaranteed to meet someone that you work with.
Yeah,
it just either happens or it doesn't.
Yeah, man.
And you know, I guess there's a possibility that you are somewhat guaranteed, because usually, you know, if you're raised a certain way, then you're gonna be near people who were raised similarly. But the reality is, maybe you get fucking moved around and you're raised a certain way, then you get moved halfway through middle school and you don't know anybody like you.
Yeah,
because there are people like that too. So yeah, you're not guaranteed to have a friend like that.
I think it's just really cool to have this type of friendship really early on.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people can find this later.
And develop with it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
yeah,
people can find this later on in life.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're still early on in life.
Yeah.
And like, we found something that like people could really like search for.
100%, man. There's like a rule. Like, your college friends are the ones that stick. It's like a rule.
Your what?
Your college friends are the ones that stick.
Oh, really?
You know, because like, have you ever? A lot of people like when you talk to someone about like high school issues.
Yeah.
Like a high school kid talking to their parents always say, well, you know, these people aren't going to be around you for like, you know, you're not going to know anybody that you talk to right now in 20 years. You're not going to know any of them.
Yeah.
And they always say that. And obviously we're not, you know, it hasn't been 20 years since high school for us, so it could still happen. But the rule usually is like elementary school, you don't know half the people from elementary school once you go to high school. And then once you go to college, you don't know anybody from your high school, usually because people go to university.
Right.
And then after that, those are the only people that you actually stay in contact with. That's usually the rule. But literally, we've been in contact since like elementary school, like middle of elementary school. And there's friends that I have, one friend in particular that I've been in contact with since before I even started fucking school. So, and that shit's just crazy. I mean, this is fucking awesome.
Speaking of which, of like keeping in contact with friends, there's also like friends where you don't always have to hang out with that person to be good friends.
Oh, for sure. And that means a lot too.
Yeah.
That means a lot too. You know, I mean, I guess we should probably go into that, because I don't know what it means, but I know it's very valuable.
And you talked about this before, where it's like friendships is essentially where like doesn't matter how long you guys haven't seen each other, when you guys see each other, it just clicks. Yeah. It's like you guys never... It's almost like if you guys never separated, or as if the time in between wasn't even there. Yeah,
exactly. It's like when you hang out with a friend and then it's like nighttime and then you go home and then you wake up the next day and hang out with them again. It doesn't matter if it was one night or 30 nights. When that next day comes and you hang out with them, you pick up right where you left off.
Exactly.
As if it was the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just more shit happened during that night.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Instead of it being like, I went home, I ate, I went to sleep, and then I woke up and came here. It's, I went home, I ate, I also graduated from fucking college, and I also have a wife now. But you're still picking up right where you left off.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's not awkward. It's not fucking, it's not like this thing of like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know, you know, because you still know that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's like with me and Nick, right? Like with me and Nick, like we'll go through these periods of just not seeing each other for a long time. Yeah. Because like I'm getting busy, he's getting busy and everything. But like every time we hang out again, it's like we're still laughing our asses off. We're still like fucking joking around. And keep in mind, we're pretty different people. We have different lifestyles and everything. No, for sure. But like we still have that very different click. People, actually, yeah, we're very different people, but we still have that click. Like that's a brother to me. You know, like he's my fucking brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like we that you know, that example also can be expanded into just different types of friends as well. Right, this kind of goes into category. It's like, okay, like these are my party friends. Like, oh, okay, these are like my, you know, chill friends. And there's these different masks that you put on with friends. But there's like that thing of just kind of like clicking again with them.
Yeah, I think if anything, when you have those friends, these are my party friends. These are my fucking sport friends. These are my, you know, drinking friends, whatever. That's the same as partying, but when you have those different like little outlets of which you create social groups around, I feel like usually those are kind of the sparks. Those are the sparks with people, you know?
What do you
That's
mean?
how you make friends,
Yeah.
right? You make friends through partying. You make friends through sports. You make friends through, you know, whatever, school. And so, and you have these different groups. And then out of those groups, you get to know those people, and maybe it grows to be more, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
And so, if anything, it's like every single time you do a social activity, you're gambling. You're gambling, and you fucking throw the dice down, and maybe you get a low number, and that relationship never goes beyond there.
Yeah.
Or maybe you gamble, you fucking throw that dice down, and you get the fucking the snake eye. Well, actually, that's ones, but you get the fucking sixes, right? And then you're like, oh shit, this person's gonna like transcend this activity.
Yeah.
They're gonna transcend this season of my life.
Right.
And we're gonna be lifelong friends.
Yeah.
You know? And you never know. Cause I mean, we didn't start off as like we didn't start off as like deep fucking friends. We talk philosophical. No, we started off as like neighbors.
Yeah.
And even then we weren't friends until I mean, Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I remember correctly, you saw the Pokemon cards I had in my house.
It was your DS. You were playing.
Was it my DS?
Yeah, you were playing Pokemon, and I was like, "Is that Pokemon?"
Dude, I feel like maybe it was my DS too, but the way I remember it is because I'm gonna retell the story because it's cool to tell, not because you don't remember it, because you might.
Yeah.
But basically, you and your sister would play with this ball.
Yeah.
In the fucking street or in your yard or some shit, and it kept going over my fence.
Yeah.
Kept going over my fence, man. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? And so you knock on my door, and then at first I would just go get the ball. I just would go get the ball. But then one day, and it was over the summer too, and then one day you knock on my door, and I'm just like, fuck it, you guys go get it.
Oh shit.
And so you come in, and I have like Pokemon cards laid out on my floor.
Yeah.
This is how I remember. It could be incorrect, or maybe I had a DS
Maybe
and
you're
Pokemon
right.
cards.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I remember having Pokemon cards laid out on the floor because I was playing with them or organizing them or something. And you were like, "Oh shit, is that Pokemon?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes." and then literally from there, I don't even remember. We might have talked for like 5 fucking minutes or something. But it's just like, I don't know, that seed planted, and then suddenly you're no longer just the kid who's my neighbor who keeps on throwing the ball. You're that kid who also likes Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like. And I feel like how we actually started hanging out was like you invited me to like, I don't know if it was your birthday party, but I just remember that being such a staple in our relationship. You had a birthday party, and I think it might have been Pokemon card themed, because I just remember Nick was there with Pokemon cards, and there was like 2 other people that you knew with Pokemon cards, and I just remember it just being this like Pokemon kind of card thing. Like there was just like thing.
Yeah, no, Nick was huge into Pokemon.
Yeah,
and he had like binders, and like
yeah,
he put
man,
them
I
in
remember
there.
that shit,
And
dude.
my other friends did too, and I was just like, holy shit, I need to get a binder. And so I got a binder, and I just like filled them up with a whole bunch of Pokemon cards, and I was like, ooh, like, and they organized them too, like different types and shit like that.
No, my shit was super ragged, bro. I had, dude, and I'm so pissed because I still don't know where this fucking shit is, man. I had this big ass blue Walmart bag, and I just had all my Pokemon. Dude, I had like 400 plus Pokemon cards. I remember counting them, and I had like just all my Pokemon cards in this fucking bag, and it's just this fucking Walmart shopping bag.
Dude, I have my Pokemon cards right here in this attic.
I don't even want to fucking look at them, bro.
I'm gonna show you them.
Yeah, I'll look at them. But I was so pissed that I don't have mine, dude. I just remember one day I was like, where are they? And I couldn't find them, and I never found them again. It's so depressing, dude. Man.
You know what's interesting? I visited Mexico, in like my old house. I visited my old house like a couple of years ago, and I guess I collected Pokemon cards when I was like 1 to like 3 years old. And I was just like, I mean, obviously I didn't, I was a kid, and I was like, cards, but then like they gave me them, and so like
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I had like this extra set of, it was like a good like 60 to like 100 cards.
Damn.
And I was like, whoa. And like some of them were in Spanish and everything too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like one like it was in Spanish, and it was Bulbasaur. Or nice. No. It was oh god, Squirtle's final form.
Blastoise.
Yeah. And I was just like, it was all in Spanish, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I like added it to the collection too. Yeah,
is it there?
Yeah, I think so. It should be there.
Yeah, I'll check it out. That's dope.
Yeah. And so, yeah, no, it's just super interesting how like friendships start, and how they just kind of grow out from that. And it's also interesting how they fall. It's interesting how life takes major turns in people's lives, and that dictates if they're a true friend or not.
Yeah. So I guess to go back to the question, like,
What is it?
What is a true friendship? Because it's hard. Because what am I supposed to say? Like, a true friendship is a friend that you never lose? I mean, because when I think of my true friendships, it's like you, it's Gabe. It's like the people who, like, I was friends with them, and I'm still friends with them. But there's people like that, in which I'm not friends with, but I wouldn't consider them true friends. I feel like it's the people who, I feel like what a true friend is the people who transcend whatever medium you meet in.
Exactly. I think you couldn't say it any better. Because, like, imagine if I just wanted to stop doing philosophy. Like, I was like, okay.
Yeah, you just were tired of thinking about this thing.
Exactly.
I mean, though I will say, like, I'll be honest, if you wanted to stop thinking about philosophy, we probably wouldn't. We literally, I'll be honest, I don't know if we'd still be friends.
I think so too.
But like, philosophical thinking is so heavily ingrained in both of us. Yeah. How the fuck can we stop?
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's like the kind of drug that you snort once and you literally, and like, you don't know how to stop snorting it. I don't know how to stop thinking like this. I can't go back to just like clicking my remote on the couch. Not that there's something wrong with that, but I can't go back to just like living my life and like being numb-minded. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, I'm always just gonna hyperanalyze shit.
Yeah. If anything, like, I'm gonna keep philosophy thinking in my life. I'm just gonna like prioritize, or I'm gonna learn how to balance action and philosophy, essentially.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point, by the way, because while you can be introspective and contemplative while doing shit like running, or bike riding, or really anything endurance related, there is a big difference between thinking and doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there really is. Like, being present is so much different than deep contemplation about your past and future.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're just two fucking very different things. So yeah, I mean, that's something that I struggle with a lot, actually, taking action. I mean, because, like, yeah, I sit here and I just fucking think, and sometimes I don't want to even think, but I'm still thinking.
Yeah.
But actually doing, that's often the hard part, right? Like, actually just getting up and fucking doing shit.
And it's like that delicate balance of like theory and action, right? I remember I was watching a video about this, and basically the guy was saying that, when you if you're a thinker, this happens a lot with overthinkers, is they'll think of something and they'll think about doing it, but then they think about this. You talked about this on the last podcast, how your ego will hijack the idea. And it's essentially the theory, right? It's like the ego, it will essentially hijack your idea into taking action, so you don't have to take action. So like, it'll overthink it.
Oh yeah,
and then it'll just like, and then you won't be able to take action because you overthought it. And it's like, no, dude, like, you're in too much in theory and you just need to take action. The way you break that is to get out of your head. You just take action. You
for sure.
numb that overthinking with like whatever you're afraid of, and whatever you're like thinking of doing, you just do it.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Like, you take someone's like habits, like habit of smoking, habit of drinking and stuff like that. That's an action thing. You don't even know it. You're
not thinking about it at all.
Exactly. And so you need to think about it more. So you need to go into theory with that more. This is the thing about with habits, right? Like habits, you need to look into your habits, and you need to look, okay, why am I doing this? And you need to like get a fucking paper or whatever and actually just sit there for like an hour or two and actually think why you're doing what you're doing.
That's crazy thinking about that, because it kind of, part of habits are really interesting to me. Habits are something that I think about a lot. I think about my own habits, and I think about why I formed them. And I've formed a habit of thinking. Yeah. Like I've literally formed a habit of thinking. There are certain times throughout like my day, or like there are certain times in which I will think habitually. Like oh, no. Like after I come, like dude, I formed a habit, bro. When I fucking orgasm, I sit there and I just fucking think for like a while. And I love it, dude. It's so good. I love it, but I sit there and I think, and that's a habit. And there's reason behind it. I know this, but but I formed a habit of like, yeah, orgasming and just fucking sitting there and like laying in my enjoyment as I contemplate whatever I want to contemplate. And but there used to be a day in which I would orgasm and then I'd get up and I'd clean myself and then I'd move on with my life and I wouldn't do any thinking. And so yeah, I've built habits around thinking, but something that I think about also is that I think my habit of thinking has been formed because I've analyzed habits of doing. So like there have been times in which I've formed certain habits and I've done the thinking because to break the habit. In order to break the habit, I've thought about why do I do this? Like why do I do this? And like I wanted to get I've thought really hard about how to get to the root of it, and then I got to the root of it and I realized I shouldn't be doing it. And then I essentially fixed my problem.
Yeah.
And because of that, I began to form a habit of thinking. Like, and that's the reason why a lot of times, like, that's part of my overthinking. It's because in the past, I've thought my situation through and it's done me good. And so now I habitually think my situations through. Yeah. And in times in which I even shouldn't. Like, dude, man, when I run, like, in order for me to fucking get up and run, and I run regularly, I have to do. I just have to do. I have to like it's so fucking hard because I'll sit there and I'll think, and I like to plan shit too. And I've noticed planning serves two functions for me. On one end, it serves the function of like it gives me confidence in order to take on what I want to take on. Because once I've planned it out, then I know, okay, it can't fail. Right? If I follow this plan, it can't fail. Like it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But also planning is my way of like not doing something, in a sense, because if it's something that I can't plan my way through, I'll just infinitely plan it and I'll never do it.
Yeah.
And so running's one of those things. I'll like plan like, okay, how do I want to do this? I'll clean this, then run, then do this, then eat. No, I don't like that. And I'll just fucking think about like how I'm going to fucking, and it's no, fucker. And I've noticed I do this and I'll look at the clock and I'll be like, bro, I could have fucking run in the time that I've been thinking about running.
Yes, dude. Yeah, I know exactly.
And so I stop myself and I say, you know what, you dumb fucker? Get up right now and run. You dumb fucking bitch. Yeah. Get up right now. Stop thinking. It's exactly like you said. I just fucking get my little spank on the booty. And I'm like, stop fucking thinking and do.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes you just have to do. And action is necessary.
Yeah.
And it's a balance. Because sometimes you got to stop doing.
Yeah.
Stop fucking doing. And think about what you're doing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They're so fucking crucial, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why me and you will probably stay friends for a while, because like we're just thinkers.
For sure.
Like
yeah. We're naturally thinkers. Yeah.
That's just in our favor. That's our strength.
Yeah.
That's just one of our strengths, you know? And yeah, I mean, so like I guess you could say, you know, what is true friendship? It's just like whatever, something that's so concrete in your life, and then you share that with someone else.
Ah, shit, bro.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right. Yeah, it's I mean, the thing is like even that, I feel like it doesn't define true friendship. It can often lead to true friendship. Because it's not impossible to not share something with someone and just be good friends with them. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but I don't think it's impossible. So yeah, I mean, not to like give favoritism to like my definition, but I feel like what true friendship is a friendship that transcends the medium in which it was birthed from and continually transcends mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that ties in as to why it can be very subjective. You know what I mean? Because everybody has different mediums.
Yeah, but still it's about the mediums. It's not about what the mediums are. It's just about having mediums.
Oh, but I'm talking about what the mediums are.
Yeah, but the mediums are subjective, but the fact that you have mediums aren't subjective.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I feel like as a concept, it's applicable to everyone.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, of course, the mediums and friendships and who gets along with what, like those are all subjective as fuck. But at first I was thinking what a true friendship means was subjective because the relationships I have with my truest friends aren't the same relationships that other people have with their truest friends. And at first that's the reason why I was thinking it was subjective. But then as I thought about that, well, as you started talking and opening my mind up to certain concepts, then I started realizing, no, it's just about how they form and how they continue to grow. And if they continue to grow. And if they do, that's a true friendship. But more than that, I feel like it's just about whether it transcends. I mean, yeah, whether it transcends the medium in which it was birthed from, and continually transcends mediums. Yeah, because I mean, I could talk about my other friend, but this is about us. And so when I just think about us, right? At first it was Pokemon, and then it was school, and then from there, I feel like we did kind of like go off a little bit. And then I think we picked back up more in social circles and hanging out. And then for a bit, it was like, it wasn't really, I wouldn't say it was partying, but like, I felt like a lot of times when we hung out, we'd be drinking.
Yeah.
And now it's this.
Yeah.
It's talking deeply, right? And like talking about life and philosophy and psychology. And it's transcended multiple mediums.
It has.
It's grown with us.
Right.
And I guess really that's what true friendship is. It's friendships that grow with you.
Yeah.
And I think you perfectly I don't know, I don't like how it was organized, but I really, really, really value the point that you said, which is there's often something in which links you to that person. And a lot of times, you said it was like a core personality trait, right? Like we're thinkers. This is like a core personality trait of us, and so no matter what we're doing, we're gonna be thinking about it from a philosophical perspective, and so that's why we get along no matter what we're doing. And I think it's that same thing, but for other people. Like some people are just naturally competitive, and they like being competitive with each other, and so whatever the fuck they're doing, they're gonna be competitive with each other, and that's what keeps them together. And for some people, it's fucking, whatever the fuck it is, but it's just different shit for different people, and they can apply that to multiple mediums.
Yes. Yeah, no, exactly. And it's just like, also I want to touch upon how we'll go back to that day on that Sunday where me and you just talked and hung out like for almost a whole day. And I said that felt like 20 conversations. That felt like 20.
I mean, it fucking was.
I mean, it was, but it felt like 20 different interactions.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And what I mean by that, it's like, instead of having all these different friend groups to like have these ideas to talk about in my head. Okay, I have to talk about this idea with this friend, with this friend. Yeah. I can just clump those together with one person.
No, for sure, because we talked about game. We talked about fucking like video exercise. Games. We talked about video games. We talked about psychology. Exactly. We talked about we talked about all these fucking things, all within the same within the same day conversation. Whatever.
Exactly. And like exactly the genres that you just described: video games, pickup, philosophy.
Exactly.
Like these are all different subgroups.
They're different things, and some people you can only talk about one of them with it.
Exactly. Exactly. And so like,
but I don't know, because you're right. You're fucking right, and I'm struggling with this because I feel like there's something that what's in your teeth, bro.
It's a popcorn kernel.
I fucking hate that so much.
Get it out, bro.
Dude, I refuse to pick. Like I don't refuse, but I try not to use my fingers, so I'll just have my tongue like fucking in my mouth for like hours, bro. Shit pisses me off.
But I feel like it looks weird, like in camera, just like Mondo going.
Yeah, probably. That's no, I feel it. That doesn't look any better.
I know, dude. I'm wondering how stupid I look like this because I've been doing this for a while.
You've been doing it for like most of the episode.
I can't get it out. You don't have a straw, do you?
Oh, no, I don't. What you can do, what I like to do is Is it like to get like a piece of paper and then try to floss with it?
No, I used to get like a wrapper or something.
Yeah.
To do that, but I don't think I have that. It's fine. I'm fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah.
We're talking about clumping up different groups.
Yeah. So, yes. So, something that I struggle with is that like I feel like we talk about the philosophies within every single thing, but then again we also fucking don't, because sometimes when we just talk about video games, we just talk about video games. We're not talking about philosophy, we're just talking about video games.
True.
When we're talking about bitches, we're just talking about chicks. There's no philosophy, we're just talking about chicks.
Yeah.
So I don't fucking know, man.
I guess that also goes in like being able to not just like transcend it, but just like be present within the medium as well, right? So it's like being able to like smoke with your smoker friends, but then also being able to talk without smoking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
That like that's
yeah. Fuck. I mean, yeah, like I don't know, man. I'm just thinking about this, and it feels like we just got something special.
Yeah.
like it just feels like we got something special, because yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's like a lot of people. I think that, you know, there are people like that who also have what we have.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we're not fucking. We're not some like anomaly. We're not some fucking outlier that like it's very rare that people. No, I say that we're special, and even as I thought about that, I was like, I feel like almost everybody has this kind of relationship, at least one of them. Mm-hmm. But it's a special relationship because I don't share this relationship with, out of what, hundreds of people that I've been friends with at a certain point in time. I don't share this relationship with almost any of them. Right. And I'll be honest, there's a capacity to our relationship that I don't even know if I share with anybody. I mean, I wonder if I do, and I think that I do, but it's, I mean, fuck it. It gives the other relationship a run for its money. But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think we answered the question. How far are we? Hour and what is that? 32? It's either 32 or hour and 2.
An hour and 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what I was gonna say. What were you just saying?
Some gay shit.
I lost it. This popcorn kernel's really fucking nervous, dude. I don't know. I can't, dude. I can't deal with it. My ADD's like,
nah, I feel it.
I have to like take it out.
Yeah, like you gotta conquer it, bro. I was Matt, oh my god, that reminds me.
Oh, I remember now.
Okay.
Go. For example, like I don't know why I feel like sharing this, but I just do. Where like I play a lot of Call of Duty Mobile, right? And so I fucking love that game. And
I think you were singing like a song from it earlier or something like that.
Was I?
I think so. But continue.
Was it like the banana?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Because you're doing that. I was like, bro, that's some COD, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I just had a feeling. I was like,
yeah, no, it totally is. And like, I found this team, and or not even just this team, but like I'll just talk to like players on there, and like there's a common thing with like video gamers where it's like they play video games to avoid reality. Like this is like a stereotype, and so like
they escape.
Exactly. And so you can't really talk about like real life shit with video gamers.
Dude, oh my fucking god, it drives me crazy, bro. You're so right.
And
holy fuck,
it's because, you know, like the whole reason why they're playing video games is
so they don't have to think about real shit, right?
Exactly,
dude, it makes me want to kill them, bro.
You know?
Dude, oh my, yeah, continue.
So, like,
you're just speaking to me so well right now.
You know what I mean? And it's like and it's just super interesting because like it's a really like kind of like a irritating thing that I have, because it's like it keeps things like really superficial, right? Where it's like they just don't they just don't know how to deal with that reality, right?
Yeah,
like, they just haven't learned how to do it.
You know, and I think that that's taking the liberty of a lot of assumptions. You know, they don't know, or that they haven't learned. I think that they just don't want to. If nothing else, they choose not to.
Yeah.
And that's a choice that, like, obviously we don't make very often. You know, I'm sure that we both have our times in which we do want to just numb our fucking brains and stop thinking. But, like, yeah, man, you're giving me, like, PTSD of, like, an interaction I had not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how specific I should get. But yeah. I played with some people on a video game recently, and I found myself wanting, because they said something, bro. They said something, and maybe this happens to you. They said something, and I didn't agree with it. And when I don't agree with someone, I check them before I check myself, but I also want to get to the root of it, right? Because I am a firm believer that, like, relatively speaking, there is a truth. And the truth is something we can't all agree on. No, we just have to dig deep enough. Yeah. Right? And so, and because of that, then it's like, I didn't agree with them. And I'm like, well, fuck. Well, are they right? And then I'm thinking, like, they can't be. But maybe they have a point. And I was like, okay, fuck. So then I want to talk to them about it. And I started bringing it up. And they wouldn't bite. And I'm like, I started pushing more. They wouldn't fucking bite. And I'm like, shit, you don't want to fucking talk about this. And then it frustrated me. I'm like, why the fuck am I even with you? Why am I talking to you? Why am I hanging out with you? Why am I playing this video game with you? I need to be fucking spending my time with people who are willing to, like, talk about real shit. And, like, yeah, I was overreacting. It's stupid. Like, if they don't want to talk about it, it's fine. Like, it doesn't mean that I don't fucking ever talk to them again. But yeah. Long story short, yeah. I mean, you're fucking speaking to me, and I experienced that recently, and it really fucked me up because of the fact that, like, it made me really pissed. It made me pissed at myself in some ways for not just being okay with it. You know, because I want to fucking talk to people, man. I want to have this. This is something that I want, and I want it on a regular basis, and I want it at a certain level of fulfillment. Because if I don't, then I'm gonna fucking go mad. I'm gonna go insane and blow my fucking brains out.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And yeah, like, it's just, you know, I just noticed that a lot. I noticed a lot of that trend in video gamers, and you know, like, I'll hang out with other video gamers, and it's cool. Like, we'll talk about video games and this and that, but it's like, that's more to life. You know what I mean? There's that's more. All we could talk about, and, like, that's all we can, and it's just like it just limits the interaction. Like, I remember when I used to hang out with other people who just play video games, and it's like, at that time, I was that person who was playing video games to escape. So it worked. It functioned. It was cool. Like, we were cool, good friends. And then when I started experiencing life more, I started trying things. I started focusing on myself, and I just did all this shit to improve myself. When I started hanging out with these people, it was like, I couldn't even hang out. I couldn't even hang out as long as I used to with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it would be cut in half, the interaction, just because, like, my personality has changed so much that, like I don't know. I can't describe it. Where it's just like, okay, like, yeah, we just talked about video games. Cool. Like, let's talk about something else. But it's like, you can't talk about anything else with, like, all these gamers. And, you know, I'm not, like, bashing on gamers, right? Because I'm a fucking gamer too. Yeah. You know, I fucking love games. It's just that's what just sucks about it. You know, that's a major con when it comes to the video game community.
Yeah, I have that, and I think that's also a con with, like, the drug community. I don't want to say community, but, like, people who drugs, because, like,
totally, dude.
You know, I do drugs, Brody. I'm down to fucking roll a blunt with you and smoke. But if we talk, I'm gonna probably be spitting some deep shit, right? I'm not just gonna be like, yo, you trying to watch some Simpsons? Like, I want to fucking talk.
I mean, it is pretty fucking funny to watch some Simpsons. It is.
Let's be honest. Like, it's good. It's good. You know, fuck. And that brings me to another point. So, I'm really trying to think of how specific I should get, but I think this is fine.
Okay.
Oh, God. It's the kind of thing where it's like, if this person watches this, it's going to kind of suck, but also they're probably not gonna watch it. But also it might be something that I need to fucking say anyways. So I'm just gonna fucking say it. With my mother's side of the family, my mother and my brother. Yeah, I mean they smoke daily. They smoke weed daily. To the point in which it's like, it really begs the question, like, when, fuck, this is gonna sound really bad. I don't want to talk about my mother like this, but for my brother, it really begs the question: when is he not high? I don't know when he's not high. You know, it's just like, it's probably a consistent high that he's maintaining, which is fine. You know, no judgment. But when I hang out with like my brother recently, I've reconnected with them, and when I hang out with like my brother and his friends, oh god, they cannot hold a conversation to save their fucking lives. I mean, at least not like one that's stimulating to me.
Yeah.
And so, and I think about that, and I get mad at myself because I'm like, why can't you just enjoy this moment with them? Just fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
You're here, you're with your fucking family. Sit down, man. Grab a beer. Enjoy yourself, man. Just enjoy it. But I don't want to. And I also am judgmental, and I look at them and I notice that, you know, I don't feel like they're very ambitious. I don't feel like they're very goal oriented, and you don't have to be goal oriented. But I don't feel like they have goals, and like, I don't feel like they're working towards anything, and that's something that's important to me. I think that it's important to be working towards progress, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't just be okay with where you are. You should want to improve.
Yeah. And
so I'm looking at that, and I'm just like, and I know I can hang out with them. I know I can enjoy myself. I know I can have a damn good time with them. I just don't know for how long.
Yes.
You know, I know I could sit down and and if I smoke with them, I could probably hang out with them for an entire day because I'll just become a fucking retard vegetable. But, yeah, the point that I'm getting to is like, yeah, how long can you do something? You know, how like, oh, that's what I wanted to say, because you talked about how there was a point in time in which you used to be like a gamer and you could do that, and but then when you grew and an extra part of life was like a part of you or whatever the fuck, the time got cut in half, right? And so that's where I feel like I am. It's like, I know that there's a part of me within myself that can sit here and spend an entire day chilling on the couch doing nothing, talking about bullshit. But that part of me I'm no longer like, that part of me doesn't occupy the same amount of space as it used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just can't fucking do that.
No.
Not for as long as I used to.
And I totally get it, man. And for me, this is actually why, me and Nick will only hang out a certain amount of times. And because, Nick knows this too, where like, we can only tolerate each other for a certain amount of days, because I come off like a little too aggressive towards him, and then he comes off a little too submissive towards me.
Passive.
Yeah, passive, and we just bump heads. He's still my brother. I still love him. You know what I mean? But it's like, we've acknowledged this before, and we've talked about this before, and it's like we understand our differences.
Yeah.
And why I like Nick is because he understands that.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's
a lot of respect in that. You know,
he respects my time. He respects that. Like he just sees it. He sees it. He gets it. He understands that. You know what? Yeah, we are different people.
He doesn't take it personal. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's why I'm still fucking friends with him to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we are different people.
Yeah.
We are. We have grown into different people. But like, you're still my brother, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still like my bro. Like, we've come from a very, like, his family has done so much for me. And so it's just very interesting to say that. And again, like video gamers, right? Like, just fuck. God, I'm about to say something that person might watch. But and so like an old friend hit me up, right? And so
Charlie
like
B?
Yeah. Yeah. And
I like this because if you're watching this, you don't know what we're talking about. But we do. And you're going to feel bad about it, but we don't.
Yeah. I mean, God, it's very interesting. We're like, you know, he's still the same person that he was when I was hanging out with him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, what his normal is.
That shit hits hard too.
You know what I mean?
When someone hasn't, when you look at them and you're like, bro, like, we were here and we were cool. I moved to here and you're like here.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Like, come on. Yeah. No,
you know,
I experienced that way too.
And then like I can hang out with you. I can talk to you for like this and that, but I'm at a point where it's like, if I keep hanging out with you, and this is gonna sound bad.
Oh yeah, you're gonna. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna lower my standards.
Oh yeah.
And this comes to the same, like
you have to.
You're essentially dragging me down. You're slowing me down.
And that's a fucking hard pill to swallow because that's that.
And here's the thing. Yeah. It's not like they're slowing me down. I'm slowing myself down by letting myself. Yeah.
In order to it's like you guys are both running this race called life, and they're running it slower than you, and so you have to suddenly start running slower, running your race slower in order to keep up with them to talk to them.
Dude, that's a great analogy.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's like I'm trying to get to this finish line, man. And if it's not the finish line, I'm trying to improve my lap times. Yeah. You know?
No, for real. Like it's like you're this marathon, right? Like you start off with a whole bunch of friends at the beginning, and like you're like, and you start catching up. You're like couple like I don't know, you're 6 miles in, right? And then your buddy's like kind of behind you, right? And so like you know what? Like, oh man, like there's that new friend, right? Like I want to catch up to him. And so you start improving yourself. You start working on yourself. And next thing you know, you're running right next to him. Yeah. You're having a conversation and this and that. And then you start learning and like, okay, shit, I'm going to take what I learned from here and apply it to my running skills. And next thing you know, hey, shit, I can go a little faster. Yeah. But then the friend is still there. Yeah. He's not moving faster. He's like, hey, where are you going? It's like, I gotta go over there. And he's like,
we're both going.
We're going there. And I was like, okay, all right. Like, you just slow down a little bit. Yeah. And then like next thing you know, some other guy just passes you. Yeah. And you're like,
oh yeah, you're like,
shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, I'm like, listen, man. Like, look.
Yeah.
You know. Look,
no, dude. That,
some guy just passed me.
And
you're having this conversation, and you're like, fuck, dude. Like I could actually catch up to him.
Yeah. You know. You're like. I'm not even running that hard.
Yeah.
You're like, if I start, like, I could be running just as fast as him.
Right.
But I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And it's that struggle.
And there's a guilt to it, right? Because that person that you're talking to feels insecure about it. You know, they feel
insecure. Often.
You know, there's an insecurity about shit. Like, he's faster than me, and it's up to them. It's like, hey, you know what? That's just life. Like, there's gonna be people faster than me than normal. Like, that's fine. And it's like that, or like, fuck, like that guy just blew me off. You know what I mean? And you have to play it very careful, because if you don't, they can really just fucking opt at you and just fuck you, like whatever. You left me. You left me behind.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, dude, like I was gonna do it either way. Like, you know, I
mean, I want to talk about how fucking amazing this analogy is, but then I also realize that's just sucking my own dick. So, but it is fucking amazing, and I'm gonna stand by it, because it's like, you're totally fucking right. And I know I just cut you off.
Go ahead. No.
You see someone running, and like, even for me, there are some people who just are okay with running slower. They're not concerned with running faster, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. I want to run faster, and so it's just like even within that, there's like this big thing. It's like, well, why do I want to run faster? Do I need to? Who cares about my lap time? Do I even need to run faster? And it's like, why run faster? What does that get me? And there are many ways you can be running faster, so that this chick over in the bleachers sees how fast you're running, and you're doing it for her. Mm-hmm. You could be running faster because you know the faster you run, the harder you'll be working, and that's going to build good work ethic. You could be running faster because you know that the harder you run, the more it's going to tear your muscles, the more muscle you'll build, and you're going to be improving your physique. Whatever the fuck case may be, there's multiple reasons why you could be running this race, right?
Right.
Or marathon, or whatever the fuck. The point is, you have this drive to go faster, you see other people going faster, and whatever the case may be, I think it's... Yeah, there comes a time, and this isn't a new concept. People talk about it all the time. Like, sometimes you need, in order to move forward with your life, you need to leave some people behind. You know, people talk about it all the fucking time. And it's the same thing with, like, you know, being a recovering addict, right? If you want to progress and you want to move away from this addiction, you have to leave those friends behind. And it's just a fact, right? You can't keep on hanging out with the same people who are going to lead you down the same paths.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tragic. You also covered something really perfect, which was like, sometimes you'll run with people and you'll run with them faster. You know, like and this is part of this podcast, what it is, truly what this podcast is to me, is this race that I'm running called life has led me to this place in which I'm in deep contemplation about almost everything. And I'm running next to you right now.
Yeah.
We're running next to each other,
right.
and we're running faster together.
Yes.
We're figuring out ways that we can push ourselves harder and run faster. And it feels fucking amazing. And this is why I'm doing it. And part of me has become addicted to getting faster.
Right.
And so if people, even if someone's moving faster, if they're not talking about how to move faster, I don't want to run with them.
Right.
Because I'm not going to learn how to run faster. So that's another thing. It's like, yeah, right. And also another thing about really good friends. Oh man. Cause this is an interesting one. This one kind of, I think, reveals a flaw in the analogy, but another reason why I feel like my friendship with you kind of jump started again. And I talk about that day in which we went to church and shit like that, and like really hung out for what I feel like was the first time in a long time, me and you hung out. It wasn't some group event. We weren't like hanging out as a group. It was just me and you.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why it felt like such a pivotal moment in our relationship was because what I learned was, oh shit, he's running fast like me. And oh shit, he's also trying to improve his lap time, you know? And that's what that taught me, because we didn't just talk about video games and pickup and fucking and philosophy and workouts and shit like that. We talked about all of that, and we talked about it within the context of like self-improvement,
right?
You know?
Right.
And because of that was my way of like, not my, through that, I saw that like, oh, I can run with this guy. And I also saw that even though we were running next to each other for like years in elementary school, and then we started running like further from each other.
Right.
And we talked about it, and I don't know if you still feel this way, but it did feel like maybe there was a point in time in which I was running faster than you, but
yeah,
that's besides the point.
For sure.
Yeah. And so, this happened, and then whatever the fuck happened, and we were just on different sides of the track.
Yeah, we were.
And then one day we met, and maybe it was because I hit a lap, or maybe you hit a lap or something, but we were next to each other. And then I realized, oh, he's running just as fast as me. And now we're running together again. And it's simple as that.
And it could happen again.
And maybe this time you start running faster because I just get burnt out on something, or I just get caught up in something, or whatever the fuck may be, or maybe I realize that I don't care. Whatever the fuck may be, and maybe you run faster, and then maybe we meet again, and then it picks up again, or maybe we don't. But yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. And yeah, man, that's just like a big thing, and it's there's a saying, misery likes company.
Yeah.
And I think people who struggle to break out of their friend group, or try to break out of a habit, because a habit is just a lifestyle, right? It's a lifestyle choice. It's at least like strong core habits are.
I think, yeah. I mean, all habits. I feel like all habits. Your lifestyle is made up of habits, whether they're big or small. Though your lifestyle is your habits. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no,
like your lifestyle is what your habits are. That is your lifestyle. So it's not. I feel like it's not even your big habits. Like I talk about like how when I come, I just sit there and think that that's part of my lifestyle. Right? That habit, though it may be a small one that I could break pretty easily, that makes up a small part of my lifestyle, of the big whole picture. But anyways.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, for sure. And it's like that. I think what I'm trying to say is when people try to improve themselves, or try to like change a lifestyle habit, people are like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, why are you running faster? Like, I thought it was cool to just like take it slow. And it's like, no, I mean, it's cool, but like, I want to go faster. And people like try to put you in this category. You know what I mean? It's like they try to like they get like dependent on you.
I don't know. You're gonna have to get into that for me.
Like,
I mean, because I understand what you're talking about, but I'm not totally sure. Like, because yeah, I mean, no, I don't actually. What do you mean by people who are dependent on you? Maybe you can come up with an example and then just give them a different name or something.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, okay, if your buddy's like, it's like, hey, like, you trying to play some like video games tonight? And it's like, oh, like, yeah, sure, I'm down. And you guys do it for like a week, and then like, let's say, shit, I'm gonna start a podcast, right? And then he's like, hey, you down to play video games tonight? Like, nah, man, like, I'm actually gonna be doing it in podcast. Like, he's like, oh.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And so like now he's
no,
like,
I have a friend like that. No, I have a friend like that. And I know that's a feeling that we probably both share. That feeling of like, nah, man, I'm actually busy not doing that. Like a lot of times he'll ask me to play some video game, and it's not even like I'm doing something else. It's that I'm not doing that.
yeah.
Like, no, man. And we played League together, and man, it's so crazy because it's like it also feels so fucking ironic because there was times in which I'd be grinding and I was like, bro, where the fuck is my boy? Like, come on. And so finally, it's like I finally quit the game, and now he's fucking ringing my line and shit like that. But yeah, it's like, nah, I can't. I'm just not doing that. I'm doing things that are better than that. So
Yeah.
I'm doing things that are going to take me further in life than that. And it's such a in this part I think is subjective because for some people. Even for myself, there was once a time in which League of Legends was the productive thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's a fact. I learned a lot of things through my time in League of Legends. 100%. Indisputable. And there are people who that maybe become their career. And so because of that, that is productive. That is their good thing to be doing. Like, oh, you want to go hike? No, I'm playing League of Legends. And that's going to lead them down the best path for their life, right? But I'm not that person. So that's just not the case for me.
It's almost out, dude.
Yeah, you're so close.
Yeah. Anyways,
but it's funny because you said misery loves company, and you're right. I agree. But I also think that so first off, I think misery loves company because when you're miserable and you have company, first it takes your mind off of how miserable you are. Right, it's a distraction from your misery because if you're doing it alone, then you're just stuck with your thoughts and you're thinking about how miserable you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you're not actually thinking about it, you're subconsciously thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, misery loves company because it feels more normal when you have company within your misery, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't feel so bad about being miserable. It's like, oh, if you're alone playing video games, you're like, oh, I'm a fucking loser. I'm not doing anything. If you're together playing video games, you're like, well, I'm not the only loser, so it's not that bad, right?
Yeah.
It's not. If everybody played video games and did nothing with their life, it wouldn't even be considered being a loser. It's just normal, and that's something that I fucking hate, bro. I see people come in to my store, and man, and this is a lot of assumption, but I do know there's people like this who exist, so it's a fair assumption to make. I feel like they come in, we'll just say every other day, and they buy a thing of fucking vodka or gin or fucking whiskey or whatever. Every 2 days, every other day of every week of every month of every fucking year I've worked there. They come in all the fucking time, and I look at them and I'm like, where is that going? You tell me, where is that going? It's going down your fucking throat every night. You plop down after work, you sit down and you fucking drink yourself until you're tired and you go to sleep and you do it all over again. And it's like, and it's first off, understand it's not my place to judge. It's not. If that's how they want to spend their life, they not only are they entitled to it, but I personally think I shouldn't judge them for it. But the reality is I do. And I judge them for it because A, there is a part of me that wants to do that. And I judge that part of myself because I don't want to give into that temptation. But I also judge them for it because I just know that that's not what I want for myself, and I don't believe that that's going to make them happy. And so I guess what I'm getting to is it's become normal. That I feel like that's become normal. I feel like that's almost a normal thing in America, right? It's kind of normal to like drink every day. It's normal to come home and fucking crack open a cold one and just drink because you're relaxing and it's after work.
Or any place that just allows
exactly beer. And it's like again, it's not bad. It's not bad to drink. You can drink and be productive. You can drink and be improving your life. But it's just like, let's be honest, man. Like, when are you going to do your best work? When you're buzzed or when you're not? I don't fucking know. You tell me, right?
Exactly.
So it's just like, you're not like if nothing else, you're probably not facilitating the most productive environment. But yeah, so that just is like my side tangent about, you know, when you create a normalcy around like stagnation or complacency, then it makes it not feel as bad. It's like, okay, well, everybody does it. And I also fucking hate that. If you criticize someone and their response is, everybody does this, fuck you. I don't give a fuck what everybody does.
Yeah.
You know, the typical mom saying, well, if everybody jumps off a bridge, would you? No, you fucking wouldn't. So be your own mom for a second and realize that it doesn't fucking matter what everybody's doing. Is it the right thing to do?
Right.
Should you be doing it? I don't give a fuck if everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's put a pin on this real quick. I need to get this fucking popcorn kernel, dude. We're gonna pause this shit.
Part of it is just because of the normalcy, right? When you have a bad activity, and maybe you know it's a bad activity, maybe you don't, maybe it just feels bad.
Yeah.
Makes you guilty or whatever.
Yeah.
You look around and you realize, oh, it's kind of normal. You feel less guilty because it's normal. And when it's normal, it's like, well, am I really that bad if everybody does it? That's how I feel about a lot of shit, man. Like my diet, like I have a better than average diet, but a lot of times, like I'll go like a solid like day or two. Honestly, my diet's pretty good. Like I'm actually pretty clean with my diet, but a lot of times, yeah, I eat garbage, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, man, this is fucking garbage. I know I'm eating garbage, and I'll feel really guilty about it. But then I'll also understand that, like, part of the way that I feel less guilty is I'll think about it, and I'm like, bro, but they're like, the average person eats like this every day. I'm like, is it really that bad? And then I think about it, and I'm like, well, the average person's overweight, so yes, it is that bad. But, you know, the average person's overweight, so is it bad to be overweight? Meh, yes, it is fucking bad to be, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it comes to those things where it's like when you're trying to break those habits and you're trying to like get, you know, those friends out of your life, you really need to look in yourself and like this comes like, again, it's a habit. So you go into theory and you like understand why you're doing it. You know, when I eat junk food, I'm like, yeah, like I eat junk food, but I try not to beat myself up for eating junk food because like usually when I eat junk food, it's because I'm hungry. Like,
a lot of times, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure,
like,
for sure.
I'll break my diet when I'm not fat.
When you're hungriest,
When I'm hungriest. And, like, if there's, like, a vending machine there with, like, snacks, I'm just, like, I'm so hungry. Like, I just gotta...
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely feel that.
And so what I do is, like, okay, man, like, instead of just beating myself, just, like, do it better next time. Like, no. No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pack healthy snacks with me. That way, when I get hungry, I can just munch on them instead of the vending machine.
Yeah, there also does come a time when I'm hungry and I look at my healthy snacks and then I think to myself, but I could do better.
Yeah.
And then I still want the unhealthy thing. But you're totally right. A lot of times for me, I just have to force myself to eat something unhealthy. I mean, to eat something healthy. And then like I force myself. See, because like a lot of times it's like a lot of the healthy shit that I eat, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I like the unhealthy shit more.
Yeah.
And so it's like I struggle with myself. And I'm like, I could eat this, but I really don't want to. Like last night, it's like I could have gone home. I could have eaten oatmeal. That would have been pretty healthy. I could have had like a really clean like sandwich, or like, you know, I ate like hummus and turkey and cheese on toast, which is pretty clean. I got a lot of things, but no, I wanted a fucking burrito, and I knew that would satisfy me the most. But the reality is, if I'd gone home and I just forced myself to go home and I just forced myself to eat whatever the fuck I had, that would have been healthier. Then I would have, after that, I would have been like, I wouldn't have wanted the burrito. Yeah. I mean, I would have thought about it and I would have been, yeah, I would have enjoyed the burrito more than this, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't still have that urge.
Right.
So sometimes I feel like it's just...
And it's just so interesting because like you kind of see like the domino effects of it.
Of what?
Of just like you said, like because of like you wanting that burrito versus the contrary. What's the word I'm trying to use?
I have no idea.
The contrary.
Contrary?
Yeah.
That's a weird way to use it, but I mean, it's right.
Basically what I'm saying is like, you know, why am I? For the thing is like, okay, why do I get hungry? Right? Like, why do I get hungry? I'm like, well, probably because I didn't have a really good breakfast.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like when I wake up, it's like I don't feel like making my breakfast because I have like eggs, bacon, and breakfast and like oatmeal. And so what I do is like I prepare it the night before, so that way I wake up it's like boom, already there, and it's just easy to make.
Yeah. And that's, I feel like that's more tailor made, because for me, that's not an issue for me. For me, in the morning, first off, I'm not hungry in the morning.
Okay.
And I take that time to prolong my fast. So,
okay, yeah, for sure.
So, and I like it because it allows me to get energy. It allows me to do work in the morning and do like essentially like fasted activity. So it's healthier. It allows me to like kind of clean my systems out, like process my food more. And then I usually eat around like, I'd say like 4 to 6 p.m.
Oh wow.
And so when I do finally have my first meal, it's weird because before my first meal, like it's weird. Before my first meal, I'm straight, bro. First off, I can always go longer.
You do 16-8? Like 16-hour fasts?
No. I don't do anything specifically. But I mean there's many days in which I do that, and I don't try to though. Okay. It's not something that I try to stick to. Yeah, I mean, but I probably should, because like you know what? I'm trying to more often because I usually let's see. I usually have my first meal, let's say I have it at like 5 p.m. and then I usually try to not eat after like I'd say midnight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7 hours. So I'd say, yeah, I still count with my fucking fingers. I'd say yeah, usually midnight, 1, 2 a.m. It depends on when I'm going to sleep.
That is basically that's 16
8 hour feeding window, and then 16 hours not. Yeah. So I mean, I guess I do. I just unintentionally do it.
For sure.
But I also I acknowledge that like it's healthier. Like I know it's healthier. I know it's healthier because you shouldn't eat. You should leave time before you go to sleep when you're not eating. Yeah. There's multiple reasons.
Right.
And then also you should have a window of time after you've woken up that you don't just immediately start your fat storage.
Yeah.
And then there's more to that too. But anyways, yeah, it's really interesting because it's harder. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to go so let's say I always eat at 5 p.m. It's a lot easier for me to stretch it to 8 p.m. without eating than for me to not eat the last 3 hours of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once I start eating, then I just want to eat more.
Yeah.
But if I haven't started eating, I can still eat something healthy. And that's the thing that I was going to say, because it's really interesting. Because for me, like, it's not hard for me to have my first meal be really healthy. It's not difficult. But what's hard is to have my last meal be healthy. Because at that point, it's like, bro, I'm trying to munch.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fucking munch. So, anyways.
Yeah, no, I didn't
but yeah. What is true friendship?
Yeah, when it got into habits, which makes sense, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. But ultimately, I think we covered it.
Yeah, no.
True friendship is a big part of it is the friendships that transcend the mediums in which they're born in.
Yep.
And also, true friendship is usually dictated by the people who you have some sort of core personality trait in which you're linked to each other.
Yeah.
And through that core personality trait, it allows you to transcend multiple mediums and grow with them. Right. And that's another thing that we talked about. True friendships are friendships that usually grow with you.
Yeah. They usually grow with you. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think there's a difference between a good friendship and a true friendship too.
What's the difference?
Well, for example, a true friendship would be someone that you grow with, and a good friendship would be kind of like back to the analogy of the marathon, where it's like, hey man, I want to go faster. It's like, okay, no problem.
Ooh. Okay.
That's a good friendship, right?
You're right.
It's because it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey man, I want to go fast. Like, yeah, no problem, go ahead. Like, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny. I'm like validating a part of my ego with that. And you might know what I'm talking about. Let's just say,
I don't know.
Let's just say I mean, if I say this, it's just going to be super obvious. You've had a good friend for a while, and then you've had me for a while. I feel like I'd probably fall into the true category.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, exactly. And it's like, and that's why I think there's that distinction, because I mean, because you're saying that a true friendship essentially grows with you.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with that. Like that is, it's a good but also a true friendship. You know, it's
good too. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Because you know what? That's really fucking interesting because there is also that aspect of friendships that's like good friends. And I feel like a good friend is a friend that you can depend on, right?
Yeah.
A friend that's gonna be there. A friend that when like, you know, you need a place to crash, they're there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed they're there.
Yeah, dude.
And those are the good fucking friends. Those are the friends that you don't fucking burn that bridge. Of course not, right? No. And you're gonna like they're gonna be there, but you don't hang out every day.
Yeah.
You don't hang out every week, maybe not even every month, but they're there.
Yeah.
They're there and they're still good. And it's interesting because a lot of times, like, you know, true friends, like those are the people who you consider your true friends. You know, my father used to always tell me, like, your true friends are the ones that are gonna, you know, be there for you when you need them. And you know, it's not to say that it's not true, but I guess the subjective thing, I guess it is subjective because the subjective thing is a true friend based off of like what you get out of the relationship, or based off of like how strong it is, or based off of like how resilient it is,
or I guess like
because I feel like there's equal value to someone who's gonna be there. Well, maybe not equal, but I feel like there's very comparable value to someone who's gonna be there, right? Like they're gonna be there for you. You can depend on them to be your friend. And then there's someone who's gonna grow with you, and you can depend on. But then again, usually the true friend is also good.
Right. No.
So
I think
like you said,
you're right. No, and I think I have to take back what I said because it's almost like now they're like interchangeable. Now they're kind of just.
But they're not. They're not. No, they're not. Because there are gonna be the friends that are just gonna exist on their playing field, but they're still gonna be there for you.
Right.
But then there's gonna be the friends that exist on your playing field, and they're gonna be there for you.
For sure.
But then it also begs the question: are there friends that are gonna exist on your playing field and that aren't gonna be there for you? Right? Are there friends that you can't depend on, but you do grow with them? I don't know. I feel like it's probably possible.
Yeah.
But then again, like, would you still be their friend if you can't depend on them?
Well, I think that would be a perfect example of like, hey, these are my philosopher friends. Hey, these are my video game friends.
Yeah.
It's like you can
when you get together that you're gonna be able to have a good time.
Yeah.
But you don't know that you're gonna get together often.
Yeah, exactly. Like if we're
you
like
can't guarantee that.
Philosopher friends or like my science friends, like sure, you can just have a discovery with them. But like, are they gonna be there for you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh my god, this discovery is more important than so and so situations.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, are they going to be there for you, though?
So I think that can exist.
Yeah, no, it probably can.
Yeah.
Fuck. Part of this...
Yeah,
I think I'm ready for this to be over. My mind's fatigued.
Okay. But there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about. Okay. We said how good friends... Yeah, essentially like... there was this Kendrick Lamar line that I wanted to say. Where he says, like, if shit's, he says, if shit hits the fan, are you still a fan?
Yeah. When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Yeah.
And that's like really powerful, you know, because that goes within like a good friendship, right? Like I have people that I don't even talk to on a daily basis. And if anything, like I'm just like, I kind of just talk to them because of my parents, right? Because of the connections, but they would still like let me like crash at their place if I needed to.
Yeah, that's just a different kind of relationship though, because I have those people too. That shit just hits differently though, because it's almost like there's people who would be there for you, but you don't even necessarily want them. Yeah, maybe you don't connect with that, but for me, there's a lot of people out there who would let me crash on the couch if I needed to, but I don't even want them in my life really. I don't even care about them.
Gotcha.
And it's a really interesting kind of relationship because they don't provide anything for me other than I guess the hypothetical fucking fallback plan.
Right.
And it's, you know, obviously it's nothing against them, but it's just really fucking weird. And there's a lot of people that also there's also a lot of people who just like to be that person.
True.
I don't know if you know what I mean, but
there's
a lot of people who like to be the person who's like, yeah, man, you know, if you ever go through anything, man, just tell me, just let me know. There's a lot of people, especially who I know through the church, who are they're just like that, man. They're just like that. They just want to be the person who's gonna know. Yeah. They want to know, and this is very like, I don't know if it's judgmental, but I'm assuming something. But it feels like they want to know that at the end of the day, they were a good person, I guess.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I let him know that I was there for him, so I'm good. I don't know. Maybe it's. I mean, I'll be honest. That's also a part of me myself. I'm starting to also notice anything that I judge within someone is probably something an aspect of myself that exists.
Ooh.
Because yeah, no, it's some deep shit. Yeah, because there's also a part of me that sometimes I'm nice for the sake of knowing that I'm nice. Like I'll be kind to someone, or I'll say something very supportive. Like I'll tell people that, like, hey man, like, I'm here if like you ever need to talk about this, or like I'm here if you ever need this or whatever. Like just let me know, just hit me up, and I'll say that to people just for the sake of saying that, because it's better than not saying that, not because I actually want to. You know? That's another thing.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm also noticing more and more that like a lot of the reasons why a lot of the things that make me skeptical of people, a lot of the things that make me judgmental of people are because I resonate with those traits, and it's not even that I don't like those things about me, it's just I know where they come from.
Yeah.
Like there are some chicks in my life, and they will engage with me in certain ways, and I'm just so sus of them. I'm like, what are you trying to do? And it's because I've done that with chicks, and I've been trying to fuck around, and I'm like, are you fucking around? But that none of that registers. All of that backward, all of that, that backwards, what am I saying back? All of that background code, the background algorithms that I'm crunching in my head, none of that like registers, and all I know is that like I'm sus of you, right? The algorithm doesn't reveal itself.
Yeah.
It just shows me a red flag.
Right.
So
and that's actually interesting because oh man, I lost the thing that I was gonna say.
yeah, you might be mentally tired too.
Yeah, say it again.
Which part?
That you're sus.
Oh yeah, I'm sus of. Well, it might have been about the fact that like a lot of times I'm suspect of a lot of the people who are.
But the girl part specifically.
Oh, yeah, like a girl will be like acting a certain way, or they'll like be a certain way with me, or they'll say a certain thing, and I'll be like suspect of it because I'm like, like, what are you trying to do?
So are you saying like they kind of flirt with you?
A lot of times it'll be flirty, or a lot of times it will be not flirty. But a lot of times it'll be like something playful, or it'll be something like, or it'll be something serious. I'll try to think of an example, but like, yeah, I mean, yeah, so often it'll be something along the lines of like something flirtatious, and I'll be suspicious of what it means, or it won't even be flirtatious, but I'll be suspicious of whether it is flirtatious.
It's kind of like being nice to someone who's never got like positive encouragement in their life.
Yeah.
It's like for example, like someone who doesn't know how to take a compliment. Like that just like that example right there.
So there is that, right? There is that, but for me, it's different. What I'm talking about is, I mean, we could just go into it a little bit. I have manipulated a lot of people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
As a younger child, that was just like how I operated. Like I just manipulated relationships. And so because of that, there's a lot of like things that I'm very suspicious of, because those are things that I used to do to manipulate people.
Yeah.
Things that I would tell people, or like the way I would tell people, or the way I would approach people. Like there's a way that you can manipulate people, and you can tell them exactly what they want to hear.
Oh, yeah.
And as long as they're hearing what they want to hear, they're like fucking putty in your hands, basically.
Oh, dude, it's like fucking validation cocaine, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, it's you're like the drug dealer who gives them a little hit, and you're like, you know what? It's on me, man. It's free.
And they fucking snort
and they snort it,
up,
and they're like, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
And they come back, and you're like, ah, man, I gotta charge you this time.
Yeah.
And then fast forward 2 months, and they're sitting there scratching their fucking neck, bro. They got fucking sores all over them. Exactly. And they're like, please, please, please. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to charge you double now. And then you got them working for you. So, yeah. So, and oh man, that's the reason why my relationship with Bella didn't work. It's just cut and dry, man. That's the reason why it didn't work, because there was, dude, whether she was trying to or not, which let's be honest, she was trying to. I could fucking see the fucking trap she was laying out as she would place them, bro. And I just couldn't stand it, bro, because it would eat me alive because she would never fucking admit it. And I would admit it with her. I would admit when I was setting up a trap because a lot of times it'd be subconscious. Like I would tell her, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I was kind of trying to manipulate you here, but she would never fucking admit it to me. And hey, maybe it's just me being insecure. Maybe it's me being insecure and me over worrying. But, you know, we both admitted when we first got into a relationship that we both manipulated people, that we were both that we were like that. And so it just makes sense that she would, even if it's subconscious, try to manipulate me. But that's besides the point. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about though.
Right.
Like the mind games, the mind games in which you try to get someone to do what you want them to do, or get someone to feel what you want them to feel, or think what you want them to think.
My input on that is like when girls come off, like when you see like, that's kind of sus. Mm-hmm. It's like your brain, to me, the way I see that, it's like your brain can't process that without that being tied to manipulation. Like it can't see.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yeah, it can't see a reality in which they're actually trying to be nice.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. No, yeah, and that's something that I struggle with too. 100%. I struggle and that kind of yeah, no, you're right. I see exactly what you're talking about now with like the nice person, because there is an aspect of that too where it's like someone who no one's ever nice to, they begin to have low self-worth, and then because they don't see themselves as someone who's worthy of this kind of affection or affirmation, then when they finally receive it, they're just like, what the fuck, you're totally lying. Yeah. There's no way that's true. Yeah. Fuck, what was I watching? I want to say it, but it's not even important. I don't want to say it, but it's not even important. Anyways, I was watching something, and there was a quote, and it said, oh my god, it was Perks of Being a Wallflower. Have you seen it?
Bro, no, if you haven't, I've heard of it. What is it? A movie?
Such a good movie. It's a movie. Yeah, it's such.
I've heard of it though.
It's like an old. I don't even know how old it is, but yeah, it's a good ass movie.
Who is in it?
I don't know the fuck. I know Emma Watson's in it. Really? Some other fucking people. Yeah, it's got a good ass cast. I'm not good with actors.
Okay.
And actresses. Yeah. So one of the quote that I'm talking about though, it was this woman was talking about how she always dates jerks. And for some reason, she always falls for the fucking jerks. And then he says to her, often we accept the love we feel we deserve. And I mean, and that's a perfect example of like,
wow.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Like often we accept the love that we feel we deserve. Right.
Wow,
it's like,
that's beautiful.
Why do you keep on dating these jerks? Because you don't accept the fucking nice guys because you think that they're just being nice.
Yeah.
But the jerks is like, okay, this makes sense to me. I can get behind this person being an asshole because I am a piece of shit and they're just being honest with me.
Yeah.
That's the shit that you accept.
Right.
And that one hits home for me because it's like, fuck, bro. And then it begs the question. It's like, and then it perfectly fucking spirals into this entire fucking thing. Because like ego is to cloak your lack of confidence, and a lack of confidence is often, paired with a lack of self-worth. And this lack of self-worth is like, it can be manifested in like you not being able to trust people who like see certain values in you. It's like, did I just kill myself now? Did I just kill myself now?
See, that's so interesting, Jordan, because it's like, it's me. Like when it comes to girls, it's like I'm the complete opposite. Where it's like you started off like this manipulation way. Yeah. I started off like this white knighting way. Like this like nice guy way.
Do you mean that's how you felt like they were coming off as, or that's how you were towards them?
How I was like that towards them.
So you started off not being manipulative, and you started off just being super kind?
Yeah.
Genuinely? Okay.
But I mean like I'm talking like simp. Like not even not just kind and genuine. No, fucking simp, bro. Like I was hardcore simping. And I feel like you weren't, right? At the beginning. I mean, maybe at some points in your life, but like you
I mean, there's situations in which no, I wasn't. I mean, no, I wasn't. Yeah. I never learned how to simp. If I wanted something with, yeah, it's gonna sound bad, but if I wanted something with a woman, I got it through manipulating them.
And so like, what I'm trying to say, like that situation when like girls are nice to you, and you're like, shit, like,
but
not
okay.
nice. I meant like when they like flirt or like you're like sus and stuff.
Sus,
like, like I've experienced a similar feeling about that where when I was like, oh my god, I'm just like this nice guy, this and that, and I come in, you know, trying like this white knighting, simping whole fucking mindset, and I realized, oh yeah, like this is like I need to be a little more dominant. I need to be a little more assertive. I need to, you know, and then I started learning pickup, and I started noticing that like I would like find these girls and date these girls who would respond like basically like I would able to draw them in if I put them down.
Yeah.
And like
that's a whole fucking complex.
And I started using the manipulating tactics. And for me, I was like, whoa. I was like I could, it got to the point where like I could just talk to a girl and I could tell like her insecurities, and I could just tell like, oh, okay, so if I tell you this, you would come to me.
Yeah.
It's like, because she's so insecure, the only way that I can like have a fun experience with you if I put you down.
Yeah.
And not from this like playful tease kind of way, like this love that you think you deserve.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something and tell me if it's what you're talking about. A lot of times with women, when I would talk to them and I would analyze their insecurities, and you know, I think we're both smart enough to pick up on shit like that pretty fast. Oftentimes based off of the way a woman dresses, you can tell what they're insecure about. Right?
Yeah, dude.
And so like, fuck, I want to sneeze. And so like, and so, you know, you look at them and, you just fucking know. Yeah. And so because of that, then fuck, like, let's talk about personality shit, because that's usually easier to manipulate. So like, let's say that they're like a woman's insecure about like how about how much they talk. Let's just say it's about how much they talk. And so you let them talk and you just don't say anything. And then you just look at them. And they're sitting there and they're thinking, fuck, I'm doing it. I'm talking way too much. And then you're like I don't know, like I can't think of a perfect example, but you do something to basically give them a hint that like, well, you've been talking for a while, you know? And then they're thinking to themselves, fuck, he's not going to want to hang out with me now because I'm talking too much. And they don't even, dude, the crazy thing is like, they don't even care about who you are. They just want to like not make you hate them. Yeah. For this insecurity, dude, right?
And I don't know what it is about girls and dude seek for validation.
It's guys too, but girls, it's really that. Well, it's guys too, but
yeah, guys too.
A lot of times I feel like it's easier with women because the way that they're more susceptible to seeking validation.
Yeah.
Through social interactions.
Yes.
And through gaining approval of men often. And
other women as well too.
Other women as well. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Through fucking people.
Yeah.
But yeah. And so because of your disapproval of that, they now need to overcompensate and get your approval. They need to work harder to get your approval. And now you got them working harder for you. And that's ultimately what the fucking, like, you know, that's basically the entire trick, by the way. It's make them feel like they have to work harder for you, but for the wrong reasons. 'Cause let's be honest. Like, exploiting insecurities is not going to, like, often it's not going to lead to, like, the most healthy relationships.
No.
I mean, and, you know, there is my amazing relationship with my first love was a relationship in which I did that. But I anyways, yeah, often it's going to lead to bad places. So,
yeah,
you know, and often I've noticed that it usually, because there will be women who I'll do that with unintentionally, and then I'll come to a place in which I want them to be able to like open up with me, and they can't. They just can't, because I've been exploiting their insecurities. And so if they were to open up to me, they would have to basically undo all of the work that they've been doing to compensate for their insecurities.
That makes sense.
They have to now climb a mountain in the opposite direction.
Shit.
Yeah. And so it's like, oh, I can't have a relationship with you anymore. Now, like, if I'm going to engage with you, I have to be using you.
Wow. Yeah. You know, I knew that taking that route
was bad, but you didn't know why.
Yeah.
You knew it, but you didn't understand it.
Yeah. Like, that's one thing, like, I didn't understand it as to why.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I really stopped being manipulative. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it's something that's like really fucking, like, I find it really cool about me because, this is gonna sound so fucking arrogant and like narcissistic, but like, yeah, there was once a point in time in which I felt confident enough in which if I engaged in a conversation with someone, like, if they were mentally, not mentally, but if they were insecure enough or like emotionally weak enough, I could get them to like do what I want or like be who I want or think what I want. And so, are you gonna cry?
No, I was yawning.
Oh, because your eyes were watering. I'm like, bro, are you good? I didn't, dude. The way I said it was so like not nice, but like, I just wanted to be honest.
Well, no, it's just like I'd be fucking confused too. Like, Mondo, why are you crying? Like, you know me well enough why I cry, and like if I cried right there, that wouldn't make any sense.
Well, the thing, I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, because it's like, fuck. Do you think I'm talking about you? And also, it's like, oh fuck. Are you feeling bad about yourself because you've done this now? I don't know. Like there's a lot of, anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
But
that's funny.
I was like, dude, are you crying? Yeah. What was I fucking saying? Basically, I don't fucking remember. It's probably not even important. Yeah, me being a fucking narcissistic prick. So yeah, I get that I can remember that because it's gonna be good about
that.
Me.
I can remember.
Yeah, that I can get behind. Yeah, I got to a point in which I felt pretty confident that like the majority of people, if I can engage, the majority of people who lacked a certain level of confidence, if I can engage in a conversation with them for a long enough period of time, I could get them to like serve me in a way. And but especially through my relationship with Kira, I can say her name. I have to like remind myself like who the people who I can talk about and who I can't.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Through my relationship with her, like I realized like, because I mean ultimately there was I had to undo a lot of it, a lot of like what I'd done. So yeah. And I learned. I mean that's ultimately what taught me that no. Don't manipulate people, because if you want to have real relationships and you want to have real connections, you can't manipulate that. You're not going to be able to manipulate someone into you loving them. Like you can't, there's this crazy fucking way to get a quote, but there was this like Terry Crews interview or some bullshit. You know who Terry Crews is, right? Yeah. Some weird ass fucking interview. And like, I just remember, dude, it's so weird because I think it was like an ad, but I just remember them asking him like, what's one word of advice that you give people, right? And normally it's some bullshit like work hard, always remember, the nerds that you pick on are going to be your CEO, some bullshit like that, right? But he says the one advice that I give, or maybe it was something that he learned himself, but it was like you can't control someone and love someone at the same time. And it was so weird because it was in the midst of like me being like this controlling boyfriend to Kira, and like when he said that, I was like, Brody, you hit something and I don't like that you hit it. And I just didn't get it, but I just knew I didn't like the way it felt.
Yeah.
But then as I chewed on it and I thought about it, I was like, fuck, it's so right. You can't control something and love it at the same time.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking can't.
You can't.
And it's a hard thing to confront, man. Yeah. I mean, it's still something that like I still get emotional about it just because of the fact that like, fuck man, like I really did love this person. I really did fucking love this person. And she knew that I was controlling and she still fucking loved me. And anyways, yeah. I could sit here and fucking cry, but ultimately this is getting long, so
it is getting long.
Yeah.
But it's still, I think it's interesting. We talked about what true friends are and this and that. And we kind of explained how you can avoid bad friendships essentially. Or like bad relationships.
We kind of fucking did.
Like we branched it out. It's like, okay, this is what it is. This is what makes it good. This is what makes it bad.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Going into this, it's so fucking crazy. Man, I love this shit. Going into this, we both were like uncertain. Mm-hmm. We just had uncertainty about this topic. But through discussing it, I'm gonna talk about Dr. K. So something that he tells all of his fucking patients or people or whatever who he does sessions with is he always tells them, you have all the answers. I just help you put them together. And I love that because it really does feel like, and I've actually talked about this on the show, it really does feel like we have all the answers. We just have to like put it together. Like we have all the pieces to the puzzle. We just have to put them together correctly, and then it'll make sense to us.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. It's like we had all the pieces because we know we know what a good relationship looks like. We know what a bad relationship looks like. We have healthy friendships. We have unhealthy friendships. We have true friendships.
Yeah.
And so we know what the difference is. We know what it is.
Yeah.
We just didn't really understand what it was. And so this conversation, what it helped us do is it helped us understand it.
Yeah.
Man, this shit's fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna sit here and fucking suck this cock off, but like, it's just fucking dope, man. I'm happy to be there, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have you. I'm happy to have this fucking podcast that we have.
Likewise.
It's
dope.
It's fucking dope, man. It's fucking dope. I'm so fucking grateful for it. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm really happy and looking forward towards these podcasts during the week.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
And it's funny because it's like I'm happy that it's Friday and Saturday, but like not because it's like Friday and Saturday.
Yeah,
no, it's because it's like
the podcast,
fucking podcast. You know?
For me because I'm like an introvert. For me, it's funny. I have to remind myself that it's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Because I've trained myself to not want to do things.
Yeah.
I've trained myself to like dude, you have to hang out with a friend. And it's like boring. It's like I just want to go home and like fucking watch YouTube. But it's like, wait a minute. No, you don't. You love this shit. It's like, what do you mean? Do you not remember enjoying it every fucking time? And then I come here and I enjoy it every fucking time. Yeah. And I just have to remind myself, like, dude, you're gonna fucking love it. Just what the fuck are you doing? Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, you know you're gonna fucking enjoy it. And I'm like, oh yeah. Oh wait, that's with my boy or mom. Yeah, of course I'm gonna fucking enjoy it. Yeah. So it's like, I don't feel that initial excitement, but then I get into it and it's like, bro, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah. So. No, that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. I'm glad you enjoy this too.
Yeah.
You know? Shit. That was a good podcast.
No,
that was good.
Have fun cutting it out because you're going to have two different cuts. And then you're going to have
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean,
it won't be too bad. But.
Yeah, it won't be too bad.
You could probably scrub through it at like 2 times speed if you really needed to.
Yeah.
That's something you should learn how to do, actually.
What do you mean?
Because in order to edit these, you have to look through them all. But if you look through it at like 2 times or even like 2.5 times speed,
that's half the time.
Exactly.
Very true. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Saves a lot of time. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be it for this episode, guys.
He doesn't think he knows. It definitely will be it for this episode.
That is true. This is the end of the episode.
Yeah.
We discussed what makes a true friend, and then we branched off into what makes bad relationships and what makes bad friends.
Yeah.
You know, we highlighted a lot of topics, and we just learned a lot of shit about our friends and
our relationships and how we approach our friendships.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very interesting stuff. I think that's
yeah.
It's like a journey, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? It also made me feel a lot better about a lot of shit because I get it now.
Yeah.
I felt bad about how I engage in certain relationships. I felt bad about how I feel about certain relationships because I feel like I should feel differently. And that word should. I've talked about it before. That word should. I'm putting a pin in it because I know something's wrong with that word.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know that should is like this weird fucking word that we put on shit because we think that we know how it should be, but it's like, no. It's that way for a reason. Yeah. Learn why it's that way.
Yeah.
And you're not going to think it should. You're just going to know why it is. So, but anyways, I
that's a topic we could definitely talk about.
That's a whole other fucking thing.
Yeah. For sure. Okay, guys. That's going to wrap it up for this episode.
Fuck, I love this shit, man.
Leave a comment down below if you guys want us to ask any questions, philosophical questions.
Yeah.
We'd be down to go and answer them.
Yeah.
It's going to be it, guys. We don't exist. Episode 6, right? Or 7?
7.
Yeah, episode 7.
Hombre.
Follow us on TikTok below. I'm gonna be posting that shit. So
Yup. All right, peace, boys. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of our place because it doesn't exist since you can't even be here.
What's that thing you do? You go like that thing.
Like I don't even fucking. Yeah.
You go like. Yeah, there you go. Bye.
Go Isa.